All right, guys, we're back again. I have a very special guest, a reoccurring guest, one of my favorite people, especially in the Northeast Philly region. So we have number 10 heavyweight ranked in the world in UFC, Chris Daukaus, 11-3. Chris, thank you so much again for joining.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. So my first question I have is, how's that camp going? Is it same old, or have you had anything new happen in camp?
Nah, same old, same old. If it's not broke, don't fix it type mentality that we have. Um, we've done this for, coming up on 15 fights now. This is my fourth fight in the UFC, so everything's going according to plan, and it's just business as usual.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, and plus I'm very hyped for your fight coming up less than 2 weeks.
Yep.
You're fighting Shamil. If you could give your own scouting report for those that don't know too much about him,
Okay.
what have you seen that could really work to your advantage?
He's number 7 in the world. Um, he's from Russia, big time wrestler. Hasn't fought in a while. Hasn't fought since 2019. I think it's towards the end of 2019. So that could be a little detriment to him. But it being at the Apex, I don't think there's going to be a crowd there, or there's not going to be as many people there as normal. That could play into his favor as far as it just being like another training session. It's not going to be the full UFC experience, which I have yet to experience. I'm actually really excited to experience that. The guys that he's lost to are the top tier guys in the UFC heavyweight division. So he's lost to Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis, and those are the big names, and everyone who follows MMA and who's into the UFC knows that those are the two top guys, the top 5 guys in the division. And if and when I get past him, it'll be, just solidifying that I'm actually one of the top guys in the world. For a scouting report for him, I mean, he's nothing, he doesn't really do anything super crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, just throws big shots. And, you've seen my last couple opponents, what happened with them. So,
Yeah. All right. So if I could get a prediction from you, of course I don't want to give too much away,
yeah,
with your game plan. But
yeah.
I do want to ask, what's your prediction? Do you think you're gonna maybe catch him with your quick hands, or do you think you're
Yeah.
gonna have to actually wrestle?
Nah. That's up to him. I think that he's going to try and test the waters on the feet like everybody else. I just think my hands are going to be too fast for him. And, once I tag him once or twice, he'll realize it, and I might have to stuff a takedown or two. But I don't see myself, going past the first round. I'll finish him before the first.
All right, cool. Yeah, and then as always, I'm gonna be watching on my phone. I
There
have
you go.
yet to watch your fights on TV, but you're undefeated on my phone, so I'm gonna keep watching on
Perfect.
phone.
Keep it up. Keep it
Yeah,
up. Don't mess it up. I
I know,
appreciate that.
I know. I know. So let's talk about your awesome prank you had. You actually had me going on your prank that you were gonna be on the July edition of the Men's Health
That's not
magazine.
even me. That's not even me. That's what everyone is freaking out about. That's just some dude who just made it on Twitter. I ran with it. I commented on him like, dude, that's hilarious. My brother and a kid, Matt Turnbull, at the gym, both got a hold of it. They put it all over Instagram and Twitter, and it just completely blew up, and I just shared it. So I shared it, and apparently I had people from that I haven't talked to in 6 years who are cops. They were like, dude, you look great. Keep it up. What did you do? I had people who see me on a daily basis, dude, is this real? And I'm like, no, it's not real. I'm missing. I'm like this, and then I'm missing a whole shoulder. My hand's all bent. It's really bad. It's a great Photoshop because it got the tattoos and everything like that.
Yeah.
I actually hit the guy up who made it on Twitter. He's like, I think his handle's uplifting tweets or something like that. I hit him up and I was like, dude, great job on it. You got people hitting me up all the time. He goes, dude, I literally spent 20 minutes on that. It was something super quick. He goes, I didn't get into that much detail about it, but he's put out a couple other ones. he put my head on Kyle's body with my tattoos, so
Oh
that's throwing
man.
people off too. So that's really good. But yeah, I had no say in that. It just popped up, and then Kyle and Turnbull ran with it. So that's on them.
Oh man, yeah, it was so funny because like I had a coworker because like he like loves UFC Twitter and
Yeah,
stuff. He came across it and then he's like, Joe, is this really what Chris looks like? And I was like, so, like it was funny
yeah,
because like I saw you like literally probably a week after your last fight,
yeah,
and then we had Cafe Carmela, and you
yeah.
love food as much as I do, so like
Absolutely,
yeah, so
absolutely.
a part of me didn't want to believe it, but then the other part of me was actually Googling when does this magazine come out because I wanted to
Yeah,
show some support and buy it.
yeah.
It's funny.
Dude, my dad was like, dude, I was gonna go pick it up. I thought that was you. I said, dude, you see me like 3 weeks ago, like, and I was eating like cheesesteaks and all this shit, and you think that that's real? And he's like, I don't know. I just figured I'd pick up the magazine. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh yeah, you'll probably have to post that every April Fool's Day and stuff
Every
too.
April Fool, that's fine with
That's
me. I'm down
awesome.
with that. Yeah,
So let's talk about the fan engagements. Obviously, after every
yeah,
fight, if you like it or not, you're always going to grow fans and all, and
yeah.
maybe the newcomers as well. So how has that been, like building up the fan base and all? And like,
It
has it been? I'm sorry to interrupt. And then also,
no,
I
no,
wanted
you're
to
good.
ask, like, what's it like to walk around the city and stuff too? Like, are like people starting to recognize you a little bit?
A little bit. So, building your brand is a little weird.
Hmm.
I'm kind of like, like the quiet side, especially like even with, like with my job and fighting in the UFC, I don't really like to engage with people, but that's how you build your brand, especially on social media. And it's kind of given me like a false confidence because I'm not actually like talking to people. I'm just engaging with them through social media. So you can get over that fear of like social interaction, which is good
Right.
for me. Um, it's good. I'm more so active with engaging on people on Twitter as opposed to Instagram. I usually just post photos or like photos on Instagram. People go through my DMs all the time, and like, it's not necessarily like them hitting me up saying what's up. It's normally like people like just reacting to stories, or when I get in a fight announcement, it's people talking shit like, "Oh, you're gonna get your ass beat," or just crazy stuff like that.
Right.
Twitter's cool. I post on a lot of stuff on Twitter. Me and Booger Beard, we go back and forth a lot. Um, but I just think Twitter is more engaging. It's more geared towards like the conversation. So, if fans and people want to, talk to me, hit me up on Twitter, I'll reply to you. And then as far as like getting recognized, it was weird. Like I got recognized at Sam's Club, and the
Did you?
dude's like, "Yo, yeah," he's like, "Yo, you fight in the UFC, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Where's your gym at?" I was like, "Oh, it's right by Common Frankfurt." He's like, "All right, I'll be there next week." And the dude just joined the gym, and he's just been hanging out at the gym. I'm like, all right, I guess this is a way to like grow the gym and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I mean, it's people are super supportive. I think my brother gets a little bit recognized more than me, which is good. So,
Yeah.
because let him deal with talking to people. I don't want to deal with talking to people, but yeah. So if you guys stop me, if anyone stops me, and I'm like awkward or I appear I don't want to talk to you, I'm just awkward. So that's it.
Right. Like awkward as in not knowing anybody, but like I've had the pleasure to get to know you, so like
Yeah,
you're like more comfortable around me and
exactly.
all
Yeah,
too. But yeah, no,
yeah,
that's so funny. And then
yeah.
are you still dealing with like the Twitter claims and stuff? Like, have you been seeing a lot of people at you still like trying to claim you?
Not so much anymore. I kind of put that to bed, so it was good. So I'm happy not to get that stuff. I'm people are gonna do what people are gonna do. So
Right.
if it is, it is. So I'm not worried about it.
All right. So I do have two questions about
Okay.
over the weekend. UFC 264. First one, of
Okay.
course, I got to ask you about the heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Ty was very impressive. He stole the
Yep.
show when he came
Yep.
out to Spice Girls right away.
Yes. Yes,
But
he
what
did.
did you think of his performance? I mean, obviously, you share the hate as well for
Yeah.
Greg Hardy. He's a
Yeah.
awful, and then he was a cowboy. But it
Yeah.
was nice to see him get destroyed. But what
Yeah.
was your overall performance with Ty?
I was happy Ty won. He got caught a little bit with the right hand,
Hmm.
kind of like wobbled him, and Hardy seen that. He stepped in to try and finish him, and Ty caught him with that hook and put him down. It's really good. It's really good for Ty. It's a big name for Ty, even though he's not ranked. No one really likes him, but people want to see Greg Hardy lose.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of the thing with that. So it was good on Ty, and then he killed it with the shoeies and drinking all the beer on the way out. So yeah, I mean Ty has been a fan favorite for a while, and I think that just boosted him that much more. Just with casuals, with hardcore guys, just with everyone. And Ty is killing it, especially on social media. Like, he engages with a lot of people all the time. So if there's anything I could take away from that fight, is just to be more like Ty in the fact that he engages more on social media. So I'm probably not going to be doing shoeies in the octagon, because I can't take that, because that's his thing. So that'd be like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. So, but good for Greg Hardy for getting knocked the fuck out. So yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
happy at Parks,
Yeah.
and so was probably 99% of the people there that
Good.
really enjoyed that. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. And then for Ty, he did say he wanted a top 10 or 15 guy.
Yeah.
For his next fight. Do you think that he'll get that, or do you think probably the next fight or two?
Nah, he'll definitely get that. I'd have to look at the rankings. I honestly haven't looked at the rankings since my last fight. Yeah, so I don't know who it would be. I don't know who has fights lined up, who's injured, type deal. So we'll see. Especially with him living over in he lives in New Zealand, right? New Zealand or Australia?
I think it's Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that. So it'll be interesting to see if they book him again real quick, because I know that they have a whole big lockdown procedure and re-entering the country. So I don't know if he's going to be hanging out there, or I think he was in Abu Dhabi, like, training for this fight or the last fight. So yeah, I think it all depends on if they can get him a fight, where that fight will be, and who's available. Because really, all of us who I think are in the top 10 have fights booked.
Yeah, everyone's
the
booked.
only person I think who doesn't have a fight is Marcin Tybura. I think he's the only one without a fight who's in the top 10. But everybody else has a fight. So he might get like that 11 to 15 spot.
Right.
So I mean, that's good for him. I mean, he's really changing his training up, changing everything up. So it's really good.
Yeah, same. All right, and then of course I got to ask you about the main event.
Okay.
I think that was kind of expected. I mean, it sucked of the outcome.
Ending.
You kind of wish that it went maybe another round, or maybe partially pushing the 3. But what was your thoughts on that fight?
I didn't expect anything, different. Well, obviously, no one expects McGregor to break his leg, but
right.
The way that Dustin was putting it on him in the first, dominating all those positions. I think that Dustin has just made leaps and bounds over McGregor. I think that McGregor is too soft anymore. He's too relaxed. He's you can leave your home, you can go to another country, you can do that for a training camp, 8-week training camp, 12-week training camp, where you're living like a true fighter and all that stuff. But there's a different Conor from the guy who first entered the UFC than there is now. He's extremely comfortable. He's made a ton of money, ton of money. Yeah, especially with boxing, and he was more boxing oriented in their second fight, and he was more mixed martial arts, more wide stance based in the rematch. It's just, I wish that it would have went a little bit further, like you said, second round, maybe into the third. But I think that Dustin would have got it done no matter, even if he snapped his leg or not, just by going on the first round. That multiple judges I've seen had it as a 10-8 round, and I have no problem with that, because the way that Dustin was just dominating him on the ground and just mauling him pretty much. So it was going to be more or less more of the same coming up in the round 2. I think in the round 3, McGregor's always saying that if things would have been different in round 2. Well, of course he's going to say that. He wants to, that fighter in him always has that that drive, that he has that unwavering belief that he's going to win, but he wasn't going to win that fight.
No. I mean, like, also, what was really impressive was when Dustin broke out of the one arm guillotine. Like that
Yeah,
was crazy too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Because he was so trapped against the cage. Like normally you jump out and go to that way, but
yeah,
he was kind of stuck in the cage. And I think I seen an interview saying that he kind of like was like a little scared because he's like, I didn't realize I was that close to the cage,
yeah,
and it was pretty close. So yeah, it's good on Dustin, but the tactics that he used, which was really good, and he was able to get the ground and pound going, which was I was really impressed by Dustin's ground and pound just because of how heavy he was on top, and McGregor was able to get up, I believe, against Khabib, so that just shows you how much Dustin's ground positioning and ground control improved in this fight. So
yeah, yeah. No, and also just talking about maybe Connor's future. Like to me personally, I think that there shouldn't be a part 4 against
yeah,
Dustin. I think that they should do maybe a fight against Nate Diaz, a part 3, or a
okay,
fight against Jorge Masvidal would be
okay,
a good one too. But I mean, again, he
yeah,
could just clearly walk away if he wants,
yeah. I mean, but he's the type of guy who's obviously not going to walk away on those terms. I wouldn't want to walk away on those terms. I don't see. I mean, the only way that I see the 4th fight happening is if Dustin fights Charles Oliveira, beats Oliveira, McGregor is healed up, ready to go in the next 12 months, whatever, 16 months, and you don't know what the landscape of the division is going to look like. But I wouldn't put it past the UFC to just put McGregor in there for a title shot against Poirier for the number 4 spot. Look what they did to Francis. They
Yeah.
literally he won, and then 3 months later he's getting stripped, and they're making an interim belt. So, it's all about making the most money, and Dustin and McGregor going a 4th time. People will buy that. I don't think that they are as invested anymore as they were in the 3rd one. So it probably won't do as good, but people, they'll try and like throw some feelers out there. But
Mhm.
I mean, McGregor's other fights, his possibility fights. I mean, I just don't think he's like I said before. He's not the same McGregor. I don't think he has that drive, that
Yeah.
that killer instinct in him anymore. And a lot of these dudes will like still have that. Like a lot of like the old heads like still have it. And if he fights Masvidal, it's got to be at 70. I think he'll fight him at 70. Nate, I don't know. I mean, unless they do a 55 on Nate and him again, or else they're just going to do 70 again. But I think he loses both of them. To be honest with you, I just think he's done. I don't think he wants to do this anymore. Yeah, he likes being the center of attention. He likes being in the limelight and getting all the money and the checks. Obviously, who doesn't like checks like that? But he just I just think he's done.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. He really doesn't have the juice anymore and all, and
Yeah,
he could definitely do other business obligations. He's a very
yeah,
smart man when it comes to marketing and stuff, so he could definitely
absolutely,
do stuff elsewhere for sure.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah. Also, are you so this is like literally like your final days being an
yeah,
officer, correct? Yeah.
yeah, pretty
Awesome.
much, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're real excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. Really congratulations on that. I
Thank
know
you.
your pension's going to be starting early.
Yep.
So what do you have planned? So like I know obviously you're very um dedicated to training and you're
Yeah.
also like teaching in the gym too, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. But what else are you going to look to do on your downtime and all?
I have no idea, dude. I got no clue. Like I'll probably bump up the training, like more training. Like as you can tell by the beard, I really haven't been going to work a lot. So I've been using up my vacation time and my sick time. So I've been training extra, so that's a little bit, taxing on the body, but it's allowed me to eat, because if I didn't eat, I'd be down to like 215, so that's good. Um, but I mean, just training. I'm gonna have to get a hobby or something. I don't know what I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
do. Play more video games while my son's asleep. But just being a stay-at-home dad's like totally cool with me. Like hanging out with my kid all day,
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be weird getting to, figure out what I really like doing with my spare time because I've never really had spare time.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you'll start like Instagram lives or something, and maybe you could just
Yeah.
talk fights or just talk about life in general.
Yeah. I mean, I
That
could,
could be
yeah, I
something.
guess I can become like a social media personality, I guess,
Yeah.
getting crazy on social media. So we'll see.
All right. And then I did want to also give a shout out to your brother. I saw that he
Yep.
got engaged over the weekend, so that is
Yes, he
awesome.
did. Yes, he did. Congrats to them. Yeah, he was super nervous about it.
Was he?
Yeah, he was nervous. Like he was saying he wasn't nervous, and then I was talking to him. We went to the gym on the day that he did it. And he was like, "Ah, all right." Now it's like nervous. Now he was getting his nerves. So yeah, I mean he's super excited. It's been a long time coming. I mean they've been together for like 8 years, something like that. So it was bound to happen. So really excited for them, and I can't wait to get involved in the wedding, and see what everything the future holds for them.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Major shout out to Kyle on that.
Yep.
I did want to ask you. I was really excited when I found out the news on Twitter. I think it was like Thursday. Yeah, it had to be Thursday morning last week when it broke that he's got a big fight against Kevin
Yeah.
Holland.
Yep.
How excited are both of you, and how did that fight come about?
So we're both real excited about that. He's a ranked guy. He's a big name. It's really a big opportunity for my brother to make a name for himself and to get to where we are and where we want to be and both ranked in our respective divisions.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, how it happened, it kind of just happened. In my opinion, he's coming off of his last two losses. Kyle lost his last fight. Kyle's 1-2 in his last three. Holland is 1-2 in his last three. So I think that was a fight to be made. We weren't really sure who the UFC was going to give Kyle, and then apparently they wanted to give him Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was given other people and they turned it down. But you give, a name to myself or my brother, we're not turning the fight down. So
Right.
you give us like four names, we'll say yeah to all four, even if we have to fight all four all in that night. It doesn't really matter to us. So we're not the type of people to turn a fight down. So good for him. He's got that new contract with the UFC, the new 4-fight deal. So we're all really excited for him. And he's going to be putting in a lot of work for this camp. So I leave next week for my fight, get back on the 25th.
25th,
and then,
yeah.
on the 25th. And then his fight camp pretty much starts right up after that. And we're just going. So
That's awesome. Yeah, no, like Kevin's really funny too. Like when he fights, he always talks and stuff, and like Kyle's always serious. So, like I feel like that Kyle won't laugh. So like maybe at the weigh-ins. Yeah. He'll probably laugh, but like I feel like while like Kevin's fighting and talking, like Kyle's gonna be so in the zone anyway. So
probably
gonna bother him.
It's definitely like weird, like because he doesn't like we used to like we still do like we talk shit to each other like during sparring or like rolling or whatever, and like people at the gym like we talk shit to each other all the time while we're rolling and like punching each other. So it's not going to be anything new for Kyle to experience that, but it's not like Kevin Holland doesn't do that. He doesn't like talk shit like a Nick or like a Nate Diaz. He just says, "Oh, like good punch," and it's like throws you off a little bit. So it'll be a little weird for Kyle to be getting in there and doing that.
Yeah, that's also another one I have circled, so I'm very, very excited for that.
Yeah.
All right, so like of course, and you know me, I always ask two fun questions before we end an interview. So my first one is, all right, so this one's like a triple threat match, meaning like you in the basement and you got 3 wings set. You got wings from Curran's, you got wings from Burnsies, you got wings from the Jug Handle. Rank them in your order from best to least.
All right, so little bit. I've only had the Jug Handle once, so I'll put them at 3.
3. Okay.
I've only had them one.
Jug Handle 3.
Yeah. So Curran's and Burns. See now, which Curran's is it? Like which wings is it? Is it Like just the regular wings, or is it like the Cajun wings, the dry rub that they have?
Occasion, yeah.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Burns, phenomenal. I'll go Burns 1, Curran's Cajun 2,
Wow.
and then
Okay.
Jug Handle 3. Strictly because Jug Handle I have only had I think once or twice, and there's just something special about Burns. I grew up eating Burns like when I
Eating
was like
it.
10 years old. Yeah, so I was like 10 years old, and I didn't start eating Burns until like the past like 5 years. So
Okay.
Curran's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm a Karen's guy at
Okay.
heart. I also love their garlic parm wings. Really, really good.
Yes, very
Um,
good.
I got introduced to Burns 2 years ago. As crazy as that sounds, because
Yeah.
my girlfriend's originally from Port Richmond, so they
Okay.
usually get their wings from there. And I thought it was good wings, but like of
Yeah.
course I am a Karen's guy at heart.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
No problem with that. No problem with
yeah,
that. Totally. And for people who don't know, totally different wing.
right,
Completely
yeah,
different wing.
exactly.
Like Burns like falls off the bone. Currens is like deep fried. It's really good. And man, they're Cajun wings, dude. So
Yeah.
good.
Oh
So
yeah.
good. I'm definitely getting some. I get
All
some
right.
after the fight.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right. And then my last question is, if you had a movie actor in Hollywood to play you about your life and being a cage fighter, what current movie actor in Hollywood would play you?
Oh, Chris Pratt. I love me some Chris Pratt, man.
Yeah,
Love me
that
some Chris
was
Pratt.
yeah, that was the one that I had for you. And then for Kyle, it would have been the guy that played Jim in The Office.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What the hell is his name? Oh,
I know. I forget his name in real life. Shit.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. I can't think. But yeah, those are good choices. But yeah, definitely
Chris Pratt.
Chris
I
Pratt.
love it.
Yep. Yeah. Ravishingly good looking, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I got a little beat up a little bit, but it is what it
Yeah.
is.
I know, it's all good. And then also I saw you're rocking the beard now, which is
Oh
awesome.
yeah, dude.
Is this the new look, or is this like a
Yeah.
Rocky 4 beard type where
Well,
we're gonna
yeah.
shave it on fight night?
No, I'm not shaving it, but I'm not shaving it for fight night. I don't care. Like my hair is like super long. Like I got like
Yeah.
a little like rat tail going on in the back. Like if I had to go to work, my sergeant would lose his mind. But yeah, like I've just been so focused on training, and I'm not really focusing on like how I look. Like I look like a bum. Like
It's okay.
because yeah, it is what it is, dude. I'm a cage fighter. I don't care. I
Yeah,
look
who
like a bum.
cares?
Yeah, straight savage. Like my wife was like, she was looking at me the other night, and she just goes, "You look like a caveman." Because I was sitting there. Where was it at? Oh, it was during the fights. That's what it was. Because we were over at my brother's house in the fights, and I brought a steak over, just because that's just what I had to eat. So I'm
Yeah.
literally sitting. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm in a t-shirt, shorts, and I have a plate with a steak, and I'm literally just grabbing the steak, just eating the steak. Like no fork, no knife, no nothing. And she's like, "You literally look like a homeless like caveman right now eating a steak." It is what it is. It's fight
Yeah.
camp, baby.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, everyone's involved in the camp, so it is.
That's it.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, cool, man. Chris, thank you so much for joining. Of course, we'll hit up Cafe Carmela
Absolutely.
probably a week after your fight. Yeah,
Let's go.
definitely. Maybe it'll be on me this
Here
time.
we go.
So there
Fingers
we go.
crossed, baby. Fingers
crossed. All right, man. Thank you as always.
All right, brother. Thanks,
All
man. Have
right.
a good day.
I'll see you.